All right, welcome back to class 2, Avid. We are going to talk today about importing, consolidating, transcoding, AMA linking, and all sorts of goodness. So, okay, I bet you thought you were going to do some editing. Not yet, not yet, no way. Because I know you guys are all eager to get off to the races, but we got to think about things. Editing is the one thing that you make a misstep early, you mess up a lot of things later on. So you have to get the beginning part done well. So just stick with me and follow along. Okay, so I talked a little bit about importing last time, but now we're going to talk about linking, consolidating, and transcoding. So first off, what we just did an import. So I'm using Photoshop here just to, I want to kind of demonstrate some stuff here. Okay, so we have 3 ways of doing things. We have linking, which is 1. We have 2, which is transcoding. And we have 3, which is consolidating. All right, so let's talk about number 1 first, linking. So what that basically means is if I'm linking, where's my brush? And I'm going to get my... Okay, linking doesn't make a copy of stuff. What it means is that all it's going to do is... I'm just going to be setting up my webcam while I talk here. Linking stuff is... It just links directly to the footage. It doesn't make a copy of that footage. But Avid hates editing this way. In fact, all editors hate editing this way because you have a lot of system performance issues and your footage will just start lagging. If you ever start working on an 8K project on a laptop and you start linking, it sucks. So we just don't like doing it. But if you ever work in Premiere, that's what Premiere loves to do. So yeah, so basically, here's my video file. Well, footage. So here's my video file 1, okay? And my Avid is here. So basically what happens is that I'm an Avid and I tell it, I want you to look at this footage and then every time I cut, bring it back into Avid, and that's how it'll work. Now if you have a laptop, this is like an 8K footage, it's gonna take forever. We're just gonna be, you'll get a lot of stuttering. It's not the preferred way to work. You only really use it if you're on a tight timeline and the project is very, very small, like 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. 2 minutes if you are an experienced editor. So linking is the one way we do it. That's AMA linking, okay? Now number 2 is we can also do transcoding. Now what transcoding does, oh, I better make a new layer. Transcoding, all right, transcoding, basically, so here's my Avid. Now what it does is, here's my video file. So it looks at the video file, and then it copies it, and it squeezes it down. We're talking about transcoding right now. It'll squeeze the file down so that 8K file is very, very squeezed, and instead of being maybe it is, let's say it's that file, that one shot is 10 gigabytes over here. After it's done squeezing it down, it brings it back to Avid, and that video file is now maybe just 2 gigabytes. And Avid can work with it really fast. But it's copying it. You see this? This one is a new copy. There's a version 2. The other one, it just linked to it. There's no new copy made, okay? There's no new copy with a link. So if you lose that file, it's gone. You can't get it back. It's done. And if you move this file, the link is broken. If you rename this file, the link is broken. So yeah, just be aware of that. With transcoding, this is the preferred way to work. This is how I want you guys to work. You bring it into Avid, you transcode it, and you make a copy on your external hard drive. Maybe this 10 gigabytes gets squished down to just a few gigabytes, 2 gigabytes, or even less. And you can work really fast with these small files. And then you can start working on your laptop even. You can work really, really fast. Okay? So that's transcoding. The other one is consolidating. So consolidating basically means, okay, so here's my Avid. Now, here's my V1. So what it does is that it looks at V1 and it doesn't squeeze it, okay? It makes a copy, V2, but no squeezing. It just brings it over. So it might be 10 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, V2. So it doesn't interrupt the quality. All it's basically done is just wrapped it, brought it over so that I can work fast with it. So that's transcoding, consolidating, and linking. So that's the theory behind things. Let's talk about the actual practice. P2 card stuff, that's different. That's kind of a weird issue by itself. You won't see that too often. Alright, so I'm going to do that. So let's open up one. So I'll make a new bin. New bin, and this is just for testing purposes. I'll call this AMA link. Alright, I also want to go into my AMA settings first. I'll go into settings. Linking. They used to have AMA link, now it's just called link. Now, I want it to use active bin, because every time I make a new link, it would make a new bin. Change it to use active bin. Okay, press OK. Go back to my bins. There, this is now my active bin. So, here we go. I'll go to, oh wait, I don't want to bring in a whole bunch of stuff. So, I'll go here. I'll make a test one, just a little quick one. Rugged, let's see, I'll take some stock footage, and I'll just take 3 clips. Control C, and I'll make this one, new folder, Avid AMA link. Alright, there we go. And I'll put those clips inside of it. Okay. This is just for the teaching purposes. So here, AMA link, that's my active bin now. I go to File, Link to Media. 3, 2, 1, click. And I navigate to where that was. Still copying. Everything's going slow. Come on, baby. What was it? My rugged? Was it my lacy? No, it was my rugged. Name, stock footage, AMA link. All right. So highlight those ones, and I press open. It just links to it. And there we are. Now take a look. So right here with this link, what it's saying is that you see how it's a master clip with this little chain link icon? That means that it's linked. It didn't make a copy of it, okay? It's telling me that we linked to it at this time. This is how long the clips are. This is where the clips live, on what drive. It tells me the start time. It tells me the codec. This is photo JPEG. So that's an OK codec. And you can get more information here depending on what you're doing here. Like I always like to have source file and source path, just so I can come through and be like, all right, where was this clip again? Where did I find it? And source file. Ah, okay, here it is. That's right. It's in stock footage, AMA link. That's right. Okay, cool. This tells me it's got a video track, but no audio. It doesn't have an A1 or an A2. So let's bring it up. Cool. If I play it through, this is on an external hard drive. Look how it's choppy because it's linking to it over an external hard drive. Now, you have to be aware also of the connections. So what if you're editing on a USB 2 cable? It's going to go slower. If you're editing on FireWire, it's going to go slower. And if the file is 8K, 6K, 4K, it's going to go slower. If your port is only a USB 2 port, it's going to go slower. So there are many things that can influence the speed of this. So take a look again. It's a little bit choppy. Now I have a USB 3 connection here, so it's pretty fast actually, but this isn't even a big clip. Okay, so you see that kind of lag happening? Good. Alright, so now that we've done that, this is what we typically do. I'm going to show you the most common method is I right click, I go to Consolidate, Transcode. Okay, so now that I've linked to it, I want to click on here, and it lets me either consolidate or transcode. So for you guys, let's do transcoding. I want to get you guys used to this sort of work. You pick your hard drive where that Avid footage is going to live. Remember, this is going to make a copy. It'll be a smaller copy, but it'll still make a copy. So it's going to take 518 megabytes if I do it at 115. If I do it at 36, look at that, 161 megabytes. If I do it at 175, 785 megabytes. I hope this makes sense to you. Basically, one more time, I'm going to make a copy. And this resolution, this codec, is the quality and size. So I'm going to keep it at 115. Okay? So again, I pick transcode, pick your drive, pick your codec. You can leave everything else by its default and press transcode. Some clips do not match the edit. That's okay. Transcode creates new clips that match the current project rate. So maybe this was shot in 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. You cannot batch capture, batch import, relink, or link to these new clips. Do you want us to convert or skip? I'm going to say convert it. Boom. So now it starts making that copy, and it's creating something called a master clip. Alright, so just so you know, whenever you're transcoding, usually you do a lot of transcoding at one time, and that's kind of, you do all of your clips at once and you go get a coffee, and then you can begin editing. So it does take some time. Basically, it's making a whole new clip and it's squeezing it down, right? So it takes some time for it to squeeze down. Alright, so we're getting there. If you ever want to cancel this, you have to type Control plus the period button. That's not Control plus, that's Control plus the period key, which is located, well, check on your physical keyboard by the M key. It's 2 over to the right from there. Alright, so now, here, if we look at this icon, this means it is a master clip. It's been transcoded. Source file, source path, that's where we got it from. But now look at this. The video is now DNxHD 115. That's what Avid likes to work in. That is the resolution. So now I double click on it. Boom. There's still a little bit of lag, but that's because it's coming off of my hard drive. But that's still, Avid always likes to work with the transcoded version. Okay, so basically what that did is we took this clip, we squeezed it, and we made a copy, and we put it onto our hard drive. Let's try the other version, which is right-click, Consolidate Transcode, Consolidate onto my rugged, and notice how it doesn't say convert like the other one did? Transcode tells us we can convert it. Consolidate doesn't convert it, or doesn't squeeze it. It's just wrapping it, making a duplicate basically at the same size. So we will keep, I'm going to copy that, keep native master, new master clips with a new extension. Yeah, we'll just say okay. Oh, this one has an actual problem with the consolidation on it. This clip has a problem, and that happens a lot actually with P2 footage, so I am not too worried about it. Let's try to relink if it will allow us. Oh no, I don't think so. It's, yeah. Alright, we'll try the other clip. I think there was an issue with this clip in itself because of the mixed frame rate, or because we've transcoded within the same bin. Let's try now with the other clip to consolidate on our rugged, consolidate. Okay? Some of the items contain foreign compression types which could not be consolidated. Alright, so this is a good lesson to learn, is that this one was a photo JPEG, and photo JPEG is a video codec that Avid cannot rewrap an MXF around. It has to do with image sequences. So basically what you're seeing here is not a video. You're seeing a whole bunch of frames put together to look like a video. So 24 frames per second, that's how it's seeing it. There's a whole bunch of frames. The other one is kind of like a video. It's hard to explain, but it has to do with codecs. Anyway, this photo JPEG, it has a hard time with it. It cannot consolidate it. It can only transform it. I know that might be a little bit confusing, but let's try a different one then. So let us link to media. Let's choose something that isn't a photo JPEG then. So I'll go back to my stock footage. And I'll just choose one at random. An MOV is a movie. So there we go. We link to it. Alright. Deer prancing. Was that the one? Okay. Yes, deer prancing. Okay. So now that we've linked to it, we can consolidate this one because this was a movie. Avid shouldn't have a hard time wrapping this footage. So consolidate. Boom. Rugged, boom, consolidate, and okay. Nope, same deal. Ah, photo JPEG. Alright, so I know I said it was an MOV. You have to learn about the differences between codecs and wrappers, or formats. So let me just make another thing here. Formats. You are all familiar with formats. Some formats are AVI is a popular one, MOV is a popular one, MP4, MOV, AVI, WMV. These are formats. So maybe for some of you pirates and illegal downloaders, you guys have all of these different formats. The other one is codecs. Codec stands for compression, decompression. So some common codecs are H.264. We have photo JPEG, as you saw. We have animation. We have ProRes. We have what are some other ones? I think there's tons. There's so many. There's GoPro Cineform. Anyway, there's so many. I'll get lost going into it. Now, what's the difference? What is the difference? All right, so here is the difference. Formats, think of it like the Christmas box, okay? If I was delivering you a movie, formats is the Christmas box that I give it to you with, okay? That is like the box, the wrapper. Codec is what I use to stuff the video into the Christmas box. So H.264, really good stuffer. I can take maybe a 10 gigabyte movie or 20 gigabyte movie, even 80 gigabyte movie, and H.264, I squeeze it down to fit on that 4.5 gigabyte DVD that they sell with an MOV wrapper. Again, think of this as the Christmas box, and this is what we use to stuff it inside the Christmas box. Okay? Right now, Avid says if we're doing, it's saying I can transform it. I can transform it into a different kind of Christmas box, but I can't make it the same Christmas box. I don't like this photo JPEG. This is not the right Whatever you're using to stuff that video in, I can't use that. So I can only transform it. It happens. It's just one of those things you got to get used to. So that's the thing with some of these clips. So I do want to show you an example of compression though. So of consolidating. So all of my stock footage I think is. Let's see what else I have. Okay, short films. No, they're too long though. I just need little short clips. So rugged. Let's see. Compositing. Fire. Yeah, okay, fire. Okay, so I'll import this. It's a mat key. It's a PNG. So PNG is like an image. So that's totally the wrong thing. One more time. Import. Shall we just try again a shot in the dark and hope that we got it? Yes, thank you, everyone. Slow motion. Here we go. Let's hope this one works. This is a QuickTime, so that's an MOV wrapper. I'm just hoping that the compression is not a PNG or a photo JPEG. I'm sorry guys if this seems very confusing, but this is the world of technical stuff. So back in the day with if we were shooting film, we had to know if we were dealing with daylight film, tungsten film, the sensitivity of film, and you had to know how to work with it. They would scan it and then bring it in, and it was a whole thing. Now, people have to be aware of codecs and formats. One of those things. All right, come on, tell me good news. We got this. It's a DNX HD. Oh, it's already kind of wrapped. So cool. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so slow motion, water pouring on dirt. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see. Consolidate, transcode, consolidate, rugged, booyah, and wabam! Wabam! And all clips were skipped. All right. It's because it's already a DNX HD 115. It's already an Avid clip like we have here. All right. I am not going to have any luck on this. I don't think I have any clips that match. But basically what it's going to do is give you another master clip here that is just wrapped around that initial codec. It keeps the same level of quality, but it lets Avid work with it quickly. So if you need some more clarification, please feel free to approach me and I can find another demonstration of it. But this should give you an indication of how to work with linked footage, transcoded footage, and consolidated footage. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in there, so if you're unsure, please ask questions of me. This is where you have to get into the nitty-gritty technical foundations of editing. Anyway, I hope that helps. I'm going to end recording.